Good afternoon, everyone. Today, Tina, I, and Gavin are going to talk about the roles about military that women played during the First World War. During the First World War, thousands of American women formed or joined organizations that brought relief to wealthier countries in Europe, even before the United States formally joined the war in April 1917. After the United States joined the Allies, women continued to join these groups, committed to supporting and expanding war efforts. Women have long served in time of war, but not always as traditional soldiers we might recognize. For centuries, women have been following the army. Many of them are the wives of soldiers, providing essential service such as cooking, care, and laundry. In fact, the army could not have worked without the service of women. During the First World War, the employment rates of women rise up sharply. The proportion of the work-age population during 1914 to 1918 has risen up from 23.6% to around 37.7% to 46.7%. As a result of war, women workers were forced to move from the family working service to their new jobs. However, because women earn less than men, there's concern that employers will continue to employ women in these jobs even if men comes back from the war. After all, this has never happened in history. These women are either dismissed to make way for returning soldiers, or they continue to work side by side with men at lower wages.
One of the most well-known occupations for ladies during the First World War was to heal and comfort soldiers from battles, which would be calling as nurses and medics. In December 1914, Julia Grace Wells published the Canada Plan, proposing a conference of neutral intellectuals in an attempt to find a suitable solution to World War I. The plan was submitted to the United States Congress, but despite President Wilson's interest, it failed in the United States of America during the First World War. In addition, the 3,141 nurses serving aboard and at home, very few women in the Canadian Armed Forces. Of these women, 328 were decorated by King George V, and 46 gave their lives at work. Although many of these women have received medals for their efforts, but many senior military personnel still think they are unfit for the job. Although World War II was not officially open to women, they did feel the pressure of their families. When these men are recruited into the army, there is a gap in employment. While trying to fill the gap, many women did their part at home. When the war broke out, Laura Gamble joined the Canadian Army Medical Corps because she knew that her experience at the Toronto Hospital would be an asset to the war effort. Canadian nurses were the only Allied nurses at the rank of officer. Gamble was awarded the Royal Red Cross Second-Class Medal. It was given to Buckingham Palace at a special ceremony for Canadian nurses. Doctors had to deal with medical anomalies they had never seen during World War I. Chlorine gas used in the German caused untreated damage. The only way to relieve Canadian soldiers affected by poison gas was that they received continuous care from nurses. Although Canadian nurses were famous for their kindness and cares.
Women's role in war is mainly related to missing, waiting, and working, as wives, mothers, and lovers, as factory workers, military servers, and land workers, and as nurses on the front lines, but military participation, which does not exist in school knowledge or curriculum. Of course, women in the army have a history about more than 4,000 years and have played many roles in many countries or ethnic groups. Even though women in the military intervention during World War I was pretty raw, but it still existed. Here are the two examples. A pilot, Eugenie, was the first woman that became a military pilot. She carried out a reconnaissance mission for the Tsar in 1914. And on March 17, 1917, Loretta Walsh became the first active naval woman in the United States and the first woman that was allowed to serve in any United States Armed Forces, except nurses. By the end of the war, the United States has sworn more than 10,000 ladies into the Navy with equal reputation with male.